And I did not make up that name tech because I'm in the tech industry. Believe it or not, a lot of people ask me that. It is actually my name. I am on the business development team at Fiverr, and I lead what's called local market strategy. I was born and raised a good part of my life here in New York, so I'm a real New Yorker, an avid New York sports fan, and as I like to say, I'm an unfortunate New York Knicks season ticket holder, so if anyone wants tickets on the cheap, please come talk to me afterwards. And with that, so let's get started. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about the startup economy. In a sentence, look at all the people here. The startup economy is very strong right now. We have all these companies here. I know it might be hard to see, but if you look at this graph, it shows you what we call the unicorn stampede. These are all companies that are valued at $1 billion. And if you look at it, it starts in January 2011 and it goes till about now in 2015. You can see all these companies that have picked up and are now worth $1 billion. So it kind of gives you a snapshot, especially in the tech ecosystem, what the startup community looks like. However, when we use the word startup, we don't always have to talk about the Ubers, the Lyfts, and the Facebooks of the world. A startup is any business. It could be a small, corner bakery. It could be a coffee shop. It could be something you start out of your dorm room. All of these things, in my mind, are startups. Anyone who is involved are entrepreneurs. And to be honest today, that's what I'm going to talk about more. It's about people, real people like you and me, who can just start a small business that we've always been thinking about. To put a little bit more excitement into what we think is how strong the startup economy is. According to the Kauffman Foundation research, the rate of new business startups is stronger than ever. It's the first time since the Great Recession that the rate of new businesses have gone up. Startup activity has seen the largest national annual increase in over 20 years, another nice stat point. And obviously it's a principal source of job creation now here in the United States. So if you're thinking about joining a startup, starting a startup, you're not alone. Let's also look from the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor. 27 million working age Americans, that's nearly 14%, are starting or running a new business. 51% of the working population believes there exist good opportunities for starting a business. This is the first time ever by GEM that this figure has been over 50%. And again, 24% of the US entrepreneurs expect to employ 20 or more people in the next 5 years. That's great. More jobs, more people getting involved. So you guys are kind of getting where I'm going with this. And lastly, my favorite source, me. As I like to say, with technological improvements, the barriers are lower than ever to really start up your business, whatever it may be. It could be a tech firm, it could be selling t-shirts. But I really don't think there's ever been a better time in our history to kind of start a business. I don't know about you guys, but it feels like everyone around me is thinking about starting a business. I feel like everyone's mothers, aunts, and uncles and brothers have all started businesses. So again, more figures about how great the startup economy is. And then we kind of get to the last point, which is the lead into the rest of the presentation. How many of you guys have thought of, God, I thought I had that idea before. I think I could have done that business. We always think of ideas. Some of us here have probably started it. But the hardest part is often getting started. You have an idea, but you're not exactly sure what to do next. But you have to get started somewhere, so I'm going to say, let's do this. Because when you look at beginnings, this is what Amazon.com looked like. You guys can do a lot better than that. This is what YouTube looked like. For you guys don't know, YouTube was a dating service. I'm a male seeking everyone between 18 and 45. That's where YouTube started. This is what Google looked like. They actually kind of look the same, but if you look at the bottom, it says copyright Stanford University. That's where Google started. So again, just to emphasize, the first steps are always the hardest. I have a good idea, but how the hell do I get started? I don't know how to design. I can't code, create a web page, do online marketing, or how do I do a social media campaign? I can't hire people for everything. I don't have enough money or time. All questions that I know a lot of people tell themselves. And that's where Fiverr, the company I work for, comes in. So what is Fiverr? How many of you guys have heard of Fiverr? Hands? How many of you guys really know what Fiverr is and what you can do? Okay, a little less. You guys make my life a little easier, but bear with me. So Fiverr is the world's largest marketplace for creative and digital services. Don't worry, I didn't understand what that meant either when I first heard it. So what does that really mean? I like to say that Fiverr is like an eBay for services, but there's no bidding. And why I compare it to eBay is because we have buyers and sellers all around the world transacting. The only difference is instead of physical products like books or TVs or t-shirts, they're digital services that buyers and sellers just like you and me are transacting in. Fiverr is like Amazon, and I do some of my best thinking on the toilet, so I put that out there. I compare it to Amazon because it's super easy to buy. Freelancing up to this point, even in the online world, there were a lot of barriers. You want to hire a freelancer? You have to negotiate, find them, do this and that. Something could go wrong with the payment. Amazon, easy to buy a book. Fiverr, it's easy to buy a digital service. So to sum up, Fiverr is an e-commerce marketplace for digital services. E-commerce, again, Amazon, eBay, digital services, that's what we are. Instead of physical products, again, it's a one-stop shop for anything that's creative or digital service related. So some of you are probably asking, what can you buy on Fiverr? What the heck is a digital service? It's okay, I still struggle with that term as well, but I'm going to explain. Again, on Amazon or eBay, if you could buy books, t-shirts, TVs, and whatever, these are some of Fiverr's top categories. I need help with graphic design, and I want to buy a logo. I need a landing page put up. I want an infographic. Those are pretty popular these days. How about an explainer video? You know those Kickstarter videos everyone does? I need some video editing. I want to make a TV commercial. Online marketing. How do I do social marketing? I don't know how to do web analytics. Music and audio. Tons of actors and actresses do voiceovers for us on Fiverr. If you need a voiceover, it's a great place to look. You can even get some mixing songs done. Writing. How do I do SEO? Search engine optimization. I need help with copywriting, PR releases, or even just, someone to look over like any documents that I've written because you don't have the time. Virtual assistants, data entry, research, content distribution. These are just some of the categories that we deal in. We have over 150 plus subcategories, so anything in the digital space you can think of, you can probably find it on Fiverr. Or you can do this, and for some reason the photos are not coming up, so I apologize, but there's a really good photo of my colleague who made a caricature of himself and put it on a t-shirt and wore it in the office, so I guess the photos aren't coming up. So the next question at this point that I often get is, okay, that's cool, but are you guys legit? Is it real? Is this Fiverr thing real? It seems too affordable. It doesn't seem real. I've had it asked, a lot of people asking me that today. Absolutely. Although a lot of you guys may not heard of Fiverr versus, let's say, a lot of other established startups in the US, it's a truly global platform. We actually have millions of users around the world. It's a top 300 traffic website in the world. A majority of our buyers are real small, medium businesses and startups. They make up a majority of our revenue. And we have offices in Tel Aviv, New York, Chicago, Miami, and also people working in remote cities like Denver, San Francisco, over in Holland as well. So we have a lot of scale. We have over 3.5 million gig listings. Gig is what we call the digital service. We're in 196 countries, and we have 17 million orders and a gig being purchased every 4 seconds. And so, yes, Fiverr is no joke. And my intern, who I'll introduce you later, spent a lot of time making those pretty green lines, so please, you take it all in. So, okay. I've explained what Fiverr is at the core. I say we're legit, but what makes us different? There's a lot of different platforms out there that say they can, connect freelancers or help you grow your small business, but what makes us different? It's this, browse, buy, done. There's a reason I use, again, Amazon and eBay, because it's familiar with everybody. Like I mentioned before, freelancing, if you want to go to the traditional model, there's a lot of different steps, a lot of things that can go wrong. It can take a lot of time. We want to eliminate all of that. We want it to be like you're buying a product on an e-commerce website. So again, the biggest difference for us, browse, buy, done, super, super simple. It's so easy that my dog could do it, and that is my 1-year-old Yorkshire Terrier on our Chief Revenue Officer's desk playing with the Fiverr website. So again, super, super easy. And the best part is, all these digital services that we talked about, they start at $5, $10, $20. I think you're going to have a hard time finding anywhere that comes close to us when it comes to the price affordability factor. It's just a really, really good deal most of the times, and you can get a lot done with not too much money. So saves time, saves money, quality work, easy to use. So let's take a little bit quick look into Fiverr. What does Fiverr look like? I thought the screen would be bigger, so I don't know if you can see, but my point is that it looks very something like you're very used to. Categories on the top, things you can search for. Here we're searching for a logo design. If you click through, you'll get all the freelancers who show you the different types of services they offer, the price points they offer for. Again, here we're looking at different logo designs if you want to buy a logo. And you click through again, and you can really get to the person's page to buy a logo. So it's incredibly simple. You pick your category, you look through what you want, and you can get to the person. One more click and you're ready to buy. And then can you see, and I'm going to show you some actual gigs, actual services now. To give you some more color. So this is my good friend Jonathan Coleman. He is a New York voiceover artist. He's in the, I believe, the entertainment industry, but he does a ton of voiceovers here in New York and around the world. This is another top seller who provides website or analyze your website and provide an SEO report, again, starting as low as $5. And hey, we even have guys like this. He's a top-rated seller with lots of reviews, and you'll say anything in a pirate voice. I used this once for a birthday gag. So again, there's a serious angle to it, but then there's a fun angle to it too, if you want to use it for like personal gifts. But to kind of get back to the seriousness, because I know a lot of you guys are here interested in startups and businesses, we're going to take a really quick look to make sure that you guys know how this all works. We have someone here, he's another top seller who writes slogans for your business. When you look through why this makes sense for a lot of people, and you can feel comfortable buying on Fiverr, you'll have the profile page. It shows you where the guy's from, what languages they speak, what is their experience. And then it goes into details about the gig, like what exactly is he offering, so you know exactly what you're buying. If you want it in a day, you pay a little bit more. If you want it, if you want extra slogans, you pay a little bit more. But again, we want to make it as simple as an e-commerce experience within the vertical, which is why we made it in this format. So by the time you're clicking through and you're actually purchasing something, you know exactly what you're getting. And the coolest part is, even if you add up a lot of these, what we call extras, the prices will be phenomenal versus anywhere else you could find. Oh, and then on the right, the most important part actually that makes our site legit, the reviews. It's very simple. You've seen it on Amazon, you've seen it on eBay, you've seen it on a lot of other websites. This is what keeps our quality, professional. If you find people with lots of reviews, they will flip over backwards to make sure that you are satisfied. And then the last part, very simple. Other gigs by the same sellers, or other gigs within the category that our algorithms recommend for you. So we want to make everything as fluid and easy as possible. In the past, when I gave these presentations, I've done it at General Assembly, I've done it at different conferences. I kind of made up like a fake, business that goes through Fiverr and creates something. And it was cool, it worked, people liked it, but I was wondering how I could make it feel more real. So, this time I tried to make it a little different. Meet Hemi. He's actually here. Hemi, stand up. Hello, Hemi. He is our intern at Fiverr. His full name is Himadri Das. Goes by Himi. He's a junior at NYU, majoring in econ. Again, he's an intern on the business development team at Fiverr. He enjoys woodworking and loves 3D animation, and he wears a lot of funky t-shirts to the office. But at the end of the day, he's just your typical college student. So I gave him a project. I gave him $400, and I told him to start a company. And this is his story. So again, to make it feel real, a typical college student living out of a college dorm room, when I was in school 10 years ago, I felt like everyone had a t-shirt business. I don't know why, but everyone had a t-shirt business. But now, you know, there's things like Fiverr. A lot of kids are doing a lot of different things. In the case of Himi, again, he has $400, and we're going to see what he can do. By the way, I only gave him like 10 days to do this, so what he comes up with is all done within like almost a week period. First, he needs a business idea. A new German language course on campus. Okay, he made this slide, not me, but so it's a little cheesy. But anyways, the idea is that there's a new German course at NYU, and he's going to make so much money on campus teaching German, because that's what he does. And so begins Das Tutoring. Again, his last name is Das, pun on words. It's supposed to be clever. You guys are supposed to smile there. So we're going to start this off. The first thing he decided was that he wanted a logo. Again, you get the idea. He went to Fiverr, browse, buy, done. So he got his logo there. What a lot of people do on Fiverr when they're trying to get work done for their business, because our prices are so affordable, they actually buy from a lot of sellers. That way you have some variety. So in this case, he bought 3 logo designs. He paid for the source PSD file. And again, because I only gave him like 10 days to do this, he paid an extra $10 for a 1-day delivery. And with that, he got a variety of different logos, and he decided to choose the one that he liked best. And again, so begins Das Tutoring with a logo now. So second, Himi wanted a clever business slogan. A lot of writers, some professional, are on Fiverr, and they want to extend you their witty writing. So you went to this guy who says he'll give you 10 custom slogans or taglines for your business, $5, and he wanted it again in a day, so he just paid $5 more for a quick delivery. And through this part of the presentation, I'm going to show you the ways of how the interactions actually work to get you guys more comfortable. So you don't have, in reality, you might not do all of these, but it'll just kind of show you, hopefully answer some questions. So in this case, when you click buy, you have the seller immediately saying, hey, please send me your business name, what service or product you provide, or are you targeting? You write right back, business name Das Tutoring, providing German tutoring, targeting your young college students. Super easy. And then 1 day later, she actually gave him 20 business slogans, so a little customer service there. But a whole lot of different ideas that you can kind of think of. Look, again, are these something like a business slogan? It's so small, but sometimes you just want that extra feedback. You want different options to look to. That's really kind of different way you got to think about it. It's not rocket science, but it's if you don't have your own creative department, which a lot of startups don't. Again, for $10, it's a lot of extra help that you can get. And with that, you got a slogan, which is speaking of German tutoring. Now let's get to the more fun and sexy stuff. So Himi wants some marketing materials. He's on campus, he needs to give out flyers or post it on dorm room boards. How do you kind of get to decide who you want to buy? What you do is you look through their samples of work. So again, these are just some photos, but you can click through different samples of work. Here's an example. And Himi was ready to buy with this person. And let's see how the gig extras work again. He likes to sell sample work, so here were 2 designs. He wanted it in print quality, because he's going to probably actually print it out. And then he also paid a little extra for 1 day design on both sides, and to provide 1 stock picture to match your flyer. This is a new partnership that we have. we have a partnership with the Getty stock images. So now when you're buying your design services, you don't have to worry about finding or shooting the photos yourself. We have a big database, and I believe our prices are lower than anywhere else you can find to use these photos when you integrate it into your orders. So with that, in 24 hours, again, he had marketing materials. And now, like any first-time business owner aspires to, even in this day and age, we want some business cards. A lot of people get their business cards on Fiverr too. Again, a different way to do it is, just like Google, use the search bar, type in business card, find services. It'll take you right to the right people. A lot of people also ask me, gosh, Tech, you have so many different people selling services, especially in our graphics categories, where we're the strongest. How do I know which one to use? Well, again, the best part is to look through all their sample work, but if you want to just play it safe for your first time around, we actually have ways where you can look at the high rating systems, or you can look for what we call a top rated seller. These are actual sellers with the most best reviews that our editorial team actually curated. So you know these guys are quality. They have thousands of reviews in some cases. So that's the way that Himi went about this. And next thing you know, there is DAS Tutoring. German tutoring service, business card designs, looks pretty good here. Looks pretty good there. I guess you can even do this, which is, I haven't seen done before, but anyways, it looks pretty cool to me. So again, business card design, basic design is only $5. Those really cool photos you saw, just to have an idea of what your business card will look to, $5. PSD files with fun, $10, one-day delivery is a little bit more. Again, you don't have to do the one-day delivery, but I made him do all this in a week, so in reality it's going to be even cheaper than what he's doing if you have some time. And we get to $265 when we add it all up. Also not featured in here is that we also have a partnership with Vistaprint. So when you get something like this done, you can just print it. You can actually have it all printed and sent to you right away as well. Super easy. And then obviously a fan favorite. A lot of people here need help getting a web page up. There's a lot of people on Fiverr that can do it. So it's as simple as going to the graphics and design category, clicking on web and mobile design, and bam, you're at the right place. And this is where it gets kind of cool, because again, we know that you want to be very specific for what you're looking at. So I don't know if you can kind of see back there, but these are all filters that are on the top. We have all these filters on all the categories. In this case, Himi wanted graphic UI, so he clicked on that. Again, he wanted a website. Excuse me. Clicked on that. He wanted to see the designs in JPEG format, so he clicked on that. And he also wanted the actual source file, so he clicked on that. That way he was able to filter exactly who he was looking for. It just makes your life a lot easier. And again, these are just examples, but there's a lot of different ways you can filter it to get to exactly who you are looking for. So when you actually go through the gig page, it'll actually highlight exactly what you're getting on the right, which is exactly what he had filtered through. So again, we have a lot of steps to make sure that you guys know what you're getting. And with that, and he also wanted 2 extra pages, include the source file, and again, the one-day delivery is often the most expensive part, so it would have been half price if it wasn't there. But he goes to bed, wakes up the next morning, and he has a new website. Let's take a look. So now he has the website all designed for DAS German tutoring, official private tutoring, website of colleges and universities. This is where it kind of gets fun. So he has a website, he has a logo, he has all this cool stuff, but now he wants a video. It's really popular these days having, explainer video. Especially if you're doing like a Kickstarter project, crowdfunding. A lot of people want videos and have no idea how to go about it. Check this out. So, animation creation is time consuming. So, we're building a story here, but oftentimes it's very pricey. I've seen people spend $900, $1,200 on these explainer videos, and that's great, and maybe it's kind of worth it. But for a lot of people who just need it very quickly, who just need it for something very simple, again, you come on Fiverr, a couple clicks later, you can have your explainer video. Click on the base price, Again, you can get it done in 24 hours, and you click your exact styles. In this case, explainer video using cartoons. And with that, we have an actual video. So I'm going to show you exactly what he made. So you've probably seen all these videos like this. They're supposed to be a really fun kind of sound in the background, but I guess the audio is not working today. But you know, you get the idea. These are all kind of videos that are kind of fun. It explains your business. It's a little cheesy, but who cares? Just gonna let it play through a little bit more. Oh, pulls it down. And that was done again in 24 hours because he picked the quick delivery option. It was in full 1080p HD. It had background music which was provided. And again, it had your own logos, everything in there, $50, turnaround, boom, you're done. Lastly, even college students these days, I hear they think way into the future, so that he wanted a business plan. I have no idea why he wanted a business plan, but he did. So, he found someone who was a top-rated seller who writes business plans. Again, you go through the profile and you see that his degrees and exactly what he's certified for, easy communication, knowing the location if you're on the same time zone, and all the other qualifications. Whoops. And what did he get? He got a tactical marketing plan, strategic marketing questionnaire, a LinkedIn Power Marketing ebook. I don't even know what that means. An action tracker power tool. And he spent the rest of the money I gave him. And he got all these files. It's kind of hard to see back there. Again, I thought the screen was going to be bigger. But he had all this sent to him in 24 hours, all the documents that were ready for him to use for his German tutoring business. And the seller actually gave him even more stuff than he asked for. This is often common for sellers who want to try to get repeat business. So at the end of the day, he just spent $400. So, I mean, that was one, again, this is a scenario that I hope everyone gets, because I probably bored you out of your minds going through this over and over again, how this all works. But I swear to God, it happens in a lot of real life stories. If you come to Fiverr's blog, you can read about all the startups that use us, but just to highlight a couple, I mean, this is a company called Triple Next Technologies. The CEO and founder, wrote us a note. They just started with some slogan gigs, something very simple. But then they realized how they can use Fiverr on a daily basis for their business and how we can save them a lot of time and money. So they keep using it and their repeat customers to build their business. Crazy Dog Apps. CEO founder Brandon Cohen of Crazy Dog Apps says he estimates he saved at least $30,000 using Fiverr, being a usual seller. Again, these are just two stories that I put in there, but there's a lot more of these. It just works. So with that, I'll conclude. Again, wrapping everything up. It's a great time to start your own business. The first steps are always the hardest. There will be a lot that needs to get done, but us Fiverr, we're here to help. I like to say Fiverr is an entrepreneur's best friend, so just do it. If you started, I hope it was helpful. There's a lot of stuff I think that can help a lot of you guys sitting out there. And for those of you guys who are new to Fiverr, if you use the promo code EXPO2015 at checkout, you can get 20% off your first order, no matter how big the order is. So with that, thank you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm also going to ask Kimmy, the guy who actually went through all this, to come on stage if you want to actually ask him, because he's less biased than I am, even though he's on our payroll. But please, if you have any questions, we're here to answer them.
Tech, we can take a couple questions from the audience right now if you want. Does anybody have anything?
So I actually used Fiverr sometime before. I guess my thing is, the question is kind of similar to what the guy asked before. is one that actually ordered video intro to be done, and then down the line I saw the same person in my class have the same video intro. So my question is, like, how can I protect, or how do I know that the content provider is very original? I don't want to have the same intro from my company and somebody have the same intro too.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things to think about here. Which is number one, again, I mean, when you want the copyright to something, it is often best, because it's a marketplace, to actually discuss with the seller how that works. And then for some people though, because they, like a video, for example, if you want it to be completely authentic, then you might, again, it's something that you discuss for, but then a lot of people, if you're just starting your business, if you're just bootstrapping and you need an explainer video to do the job, is it the biggest difference in the world to have a video that looks similar but with your personalized content on there? Maybe it is for certain people, maybe it isn't for certain people, but a lot of people who use Fiverr, who want this type of pricing, they understand that, and it's something that why we do always say to have clear communication with the seller. Is there some sort of more commonness to some of the things that people will do? Probably. It's the only way that we can get to the critical mass of helping enough people to get, again, a video done or some sort of illustration done. But if you want full copyright, again, a lot of people have that option in there as an extra, or you can discuss with them how that all works beforehand.
How do you decide what services can be sold on Fiverr?
I mean, we don't really restrict the services. It's 150 plus categories. There are certain things that, within our terms and conditions that we frown upon. I guess it would be the equivalent of going on an auction site and selling fake Gucci's, right? I mean, not that you do that on Fiverr, but there's certain things like, writing fake reviews and stuff which we prohibit, and we try to take down as actively as possible. But other than that, it's an open marketplace, and we have 150 plus subcategories, and we want people to be as creative as possible.
I noticed that on eBay, I'm not sure about this on Amazon, there are options for the seller to go on holiday. So to that part I didn't see in your presentation. I was just wondering if there are options, because I noticed...
Yeah, there's options to go on holiday for sellers.
That you shouldn't be penalized.
Yeah, you're not penalized as long as you go on holiday.
But I'm saying, how does it noted on there so that the buyer should be put...
Oh, I mean, the gig won't be, I believe it won't be searchable at that point. And if you go straight, someone, who's been a repeat buyer, go straight to your gig page, it'll say like, seller is on vacation.
Thank you.
Is that it? All right, thanks for coming out, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you check us out.